yeah, I mean, that's a good transition over to the West with the Clippers. I mean, is it time to blow it up? I mean, this team has had so many chances and Kawhi keeps been in and out. You just can't. I know he used to be, you know, reliable until Zaza Pachulia stepped under him, but um, I mean, can we no longer trust Kawhi anymore? Is Kawhi done?
Well, here's what I want to know for the Clippers thing. Like, how important is to if you were running the Clippers, how important for you would it be having a good team for that first year for the arena? Because is that all that Ballard cares
Mm,
about for keeping these guys together?
pretty much.
Or does he actually think that is he like, yeah, this is my group of guys that is going to win the title? Because again, like I think that is a possible, like it's Kawhi. Like the best version of Kawhi is a finals MVP. We're just hyping up Paul George. You know, Morey talked himself into James Harden. So it's not impossible for these basketball people to do it. And I'm not saying that for the right price, I wouldn't talk myself into James Harden either. I just don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe I would, who
Who
knows?
knows?
But probably not. But I'm just saying, you never know. But
Like, probably not. Wait a minute.
I'm just saying right now. But like that could be possible that he thinks this team could win the title. But it
Yeah.
also just seems like he wants good players in there for that first year. But do you think that's actually important?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the
It
number
is.
of times we keep hearing it from the Clippers, from people who are covering the Clippers, from national people, that they just want a good team when they open that place up, is what is continued to reverberate throughout the league and why this team continues to stay together. And they should blow it up. I don't know if we
But
see it.
do you think that those guys specifically are bringing in people themselves? Like,
Oh, the that team? No.
because
I mean,
good,
there's no one who's like, oh my gosh, like it's still LA.
and you are right. Like having a good, like going to see a just, if you're a person in town or you are a fan of the team and you just or for your evening, like you want a good product. You want to enjoy your evening
Yeah.
in whatever fashion that is. So yeah, you do want to have a good team out there, but those guys have been unreliable outside of the regular season this season. Historically, those guys have not necessarily been on the court consistently, but also, like you're saying, I don't know if those guys are necessarily guys that a ton of fans are gravitating for. So if they had also say this was Maxi that was getting hurt every year and a couple other exciting players that maybe are just a little bit more thrilling. Like I could see the case, but also it's like these guys I don't know if these guys are doing that for this team. I don't know if that like are people like let's get our tickets on the wall. We got to be first in line to sit at the wall to watch James Harden as the third option on this Clippers team.
It's just saying that you have the names even is just to get through people through the door. But just to hammer in my Zaza Pachulia point, he played 74 games that season, and this has already been done many times, but he played 9 games in 2018, 60 games in 2019, 57 games in 2020. And that was, closed down. 2021, he played 52 games, and then he had an ACL injury the next year. And then 2023, last year, he played 50 games. And then this past season, he played 68, the most he's played since he got that, since he was in San Antonio. So, this last season, shout out to Kawhi, it's probably the healthiest we've seen him in a while. And even then, he couldn't finish a whole playoff series. So I, you know, I want obviously, to hopefully have this team work out, all together, at least play a whole series. But it's just, yeah, I don't, Steve Ballmer, he's not paying all this money just to have Bones Highland, be starting
Yeah.
and leading this team. So I think I think they're definitely going to try to keep most of this team together. It's probably going to end up just being James Harden and Kawhi. I doubt if Paul George is going to stick around.
He
Um,
does like LA though.
yeah, I guess maybe he'll stick around. The location is I mean it is LA. Like that is one of the toughest places. to get stars out of. Probably the most tough. They love their stars there.
But you're
So
saying those
we'll
guys
see.
would still sell more tickets than if he brought in Zach Edey and Gerard McLean and Filipowski?
Yes, I do think it would. Just a little bit.
Reset with younger guys?
Just a little bit. I mean, and there's also this superiority complex. That whole thing where if someone is, shorter than average, and people are like, they tend to be more argumentative and stuff. And the Clippers have felt like the little brother the whole time. They keep being the little brother, and they don't want to be bad again and be irrelevant in LA, even though they kind of are. And so, yeah, inferiority complex. So they're just,
You
they
got
feel
it.
like everyone looked down on them, and that's probably another reason why they want to keep this team and try to stick it to the Lakers,
There's no
which
like
they have been so far.
there's no like younger player that a team is out on. Like, could they go get
Not really.
LaMelo?
Oh, maybe.
Kawhi for
I
LaMelo?
if we if
Charlotte's
you
not
take
doing that.
LaMelo from the Hornets, I mean, I know Brandon Miller is nice, but no, you don't have to steal all their hope.
You tell him, hey, bring in Kawhi to mentor Brandon Miller.
Show
Sam
them
just
how to
made a
sit out
face.
games. Oh my gosh. Nah, yeah, Brandon Miller already has off the court trouble. Doesn't need on the court troubles now too. The point
Keegan
guard staying
Murray?
on the court. Is that really a superstar?
Kawhi for Keegan Murray?
Oh my gosh. That enough? Give me one sec.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're in chaos right now. Sam just spilled a bowl of cinnamon toast crunch all over the desk. I think he's moved to a bowl. Upgraded to an adult
spilled a little
dishware.
bit. Yeah, spilled a little bit, but we're back.
Wait, you spilled
Breakfast with
cereal or
Champions.
dry? Were you just eating it dry?
I was munching it, yeah, and then it kind of fell off and spilled, and I was like, dang it. I was munching on it because I was gonna get some anyway. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is my favorite cereal for everyone out there, and it's been forever since I've just eaten straight up cereal. So
okay, so a dry spill is not as bad.
yeah, no, it was dry. But
I was gonna say a dry spill is not as bad as a wet spill, but I paused enough already.
Oh my god, just pause on yourself.
But while Sam spilt his cinnamon toast crunch, we got some new info on the Harden deal. Or not the Harden deal, but apparently they want to work out a new deal. And it seems like both sides want to. The headline is James Harden, Clippers want this relationship to continue with contract. I think Sam spilled his bowl of cinnamon toast crunch with the milk now, and it's shorted out the wires. His computer just died.
No. It's just a bad computer.
Are they going to have to put the cinnamon toast crunch in a sippy cup for you?
Maybe. Might have to do that.
I did see this one thing on Instagram once where it was like this cereal milk cup where you got it was like kind of like, it was like, like a water bottle thing, but the middle was you fill it with the milk, and then the outside you fill with the cinnamon toast crunch. So you can kind of go back and forth between the two. Maybe we need to scoop you up one of those. If they want to sponsor us, I mean, Sam clearly needs it.
Sponsor. Yep. We will always take a new sponsor.
New sponsors, new deals, just like Harden with the Clippers.
Do you think he's actually coming back?
Yeah, I think they'll run it back.
Yeah. What I mean, do you think the main thing is, do you think Paul George is coming back? Because Kawhi barely, we already know he's going to be out most of the time.
Yeah, I think George will be back.
Wow, really?
In my gut right now, that's what I think. I think he'll be back.
Okay.
I think if he was smart, he would go to the Sixers.
Yeah, but it is in LA, so.
And he's got the pod too, so I think he likes doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, he should join our pod. Shout out. Paul George, we're calling you to be on the pod.
He can only be on our pod if he's listened. That's the rule.
Yeah. Well, the other team.
Like
gosh, you got to do some research. The other team with stars who could be on the move, the Suns, also get knocked out by the Timberwolves, get swept to be correct. And is this the second time in 3 years, second time in 4 years, Durant has been knocked out in the first round, swept in the first round?
Going back to Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Were they swept by Boston? Was that Boston that swept them?
Yeah, that was Boston.
Swept by Boston, now swept by Minnesota.
Yeah. But I mean, now I'm seeing things of, Durant should go back to OKC. He should go back to
yeah, he definitely
the Warriors. He should go back, but the team I think he could go to, if he wants to be jumping, I might have mentioned this, but maybe the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
The team that just knocked him out. I don't, who knows? But I don't think this Phoenix thing is going to work. I think it's pretty clear from that series that, Bradley Beal and all of them, it's not going to work. Yeah, in the last been swept in the first round. Just to confirm, Durant's been swept in the first round to the last 3 years. So he was already talking about a trade earlier this season from Phoenix. I don't know, Rem. Where do you stand with this whole situation? Because it just feels like he's jumping from team to team.
So you think he's more likely to ask out than Booker? I guess if Booker asked out, it would be probably because Durant would ask out. And I think the reports are, as of right now, that Booker wants to remain committed to the Phoenix situation. But Ishbia seems like he's also pretty set on running this back as well, too. So right now in my gut, I would say this is a run it back team, but definitely. So would you say Durant's more likely to be traded in the off season or at the trade deadline this coming season? So is it like Durant gets traded in July or he gets traded in February?
I think it would be February if he did get traded. I think
that's kind of what I think. Yeah.
Hold on to him as long as possible. But yeah, it makes sense. I don't think Booker's going to ask out. Before Chris Paul, before any of that, he was there, 2-3 years, just him on a horrible team, putting up points. So he's totally fine with doing that. Yeah, he's totally fine with doing that. He's done in the past. And I wouldn't be surprised if he did it again. I think he just loves playing on the Suns. Phoenix being the guy.
Close to LA.
Yeah, we'll see. But I don't think Booker's not going anywhere. But we'll see if the season starts off not great next year. I could very much see Kevin Durant looking to leave the next season.
What type of piece do they need to add to the team?
A guard. They need a guard bad, like a point guard. They have Booker, but like a legit point guard. That's, they had Chris Paul and then they, went to the finals and, the next season it didn't work as well, but Chris Paul took a step back. But, I think, Mike Conley, there's a reason why he got the contract he did. If they had someone like, I don't know, maybe Trey Jones, or Tyus Jones, one of the brothers.
Either of them.
Yeah, either of them.
They'll both do.
Yeah, I don't, just a guard. Yeah, they need a playmaking guard, which, is kind of far and few between these days in the league. So
do you trade Beal back to Washington for Tyus Jones? Is that possible? Can you get Tyus Jones and Jordan Poole?
Oh gosh.
For Beal?
And then you waive Jordan Poole right after.
He's just off the team.
You're just like, you're done. But yeah, I think they need a guard and probably another big, because Nurkic, you can't rely on Nurkic.
I feel like I've low-key been one of the few people that no, Beal is still kind of nice. His offensive game is still there, but that fourth quarter of that elimination game was rough.
That was a lot more than rough. He ran off the court when he fouled out. He knew how bad he was playing.
I think he had 5 turnovers in that quarter alone.
It was bad. It was an embarrassment. I think Anthony Edwards just ended someone's career.
Beal?
Yeah.
Is that the first one? I guess John Collins, now Beal. When
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards dunked on Durant, it was like, oh, this Suns thing is over.
Yeah.
Durant can't be back on this team.
Can't show his face again after that.
It looks like
Let's
Tyus Jones is a free agent, so they would have to do
okay.
they'd
So they
have to
could
do some
re-sign. Maybe
kind
they
of
could just
sign and
sign him.
trade.
Oh, sign and trade because they got to cut someone. Yeah.
But you've got Beal, or excuse me, you got Poole at 29 million for the next
Oh my gosh.
3 years. He's 29 million next year.
I can't believe
Beal's
you're
at
actually looking at
50
this.
million. I don't know if they have 20 million to give Tyus Jones.
Holy
Maybe
cow.
they do if the I guess the Wizards
Trade
do it and
exception?
they trade him. I guess if it's a sign and trade, they can make it work. But
Yeah.
would they want to give Tyus Jones $20 million a year? Do you throw in Shamet? Trade Shamet back to Phoenix?
Yeah, that's not bad. Just chuck it in there.
So between Poole and Shamet, you're at $40 million, and then you're at Tyus Jones at like
10, yeah.
15 on the high
15,
side.
yeah. Yeah, that could work.
Poole, Tyus Jones, and Shamet for Bradley Beal. Are the Wizards doing that?
I don't think the Wizards are, but
You don't think they'd be like, hey, come back after the Jordan Poole thing?
gosh, maybe it might have been that bad. Like, go back, go back, go back.
Was
And,
that
you
worse
know,
than Beal's fourth
but
quarter, the whole Jordan Poole regular season?
pretty close. But I know Matt Ishbia wants to keep this team together, you know, in press conference talking about, 26 out of 29 other teams would want to be in our situation. Which
Yeah, what was worse, Beal's fourth quarter, Ishbia's comments?
Spazzing. So I think they'll not trade Beal, even though they should, because they
Well, I
just
don't know
need
if they'll
depth.
be able
But
to.
yeah, well, their team is just second apron sucks, man. Aprons suck.
Okay, let's go through the teams right now. Who would trade their team for Phoenix?
Okay.
The Wizards?
Yeah.
The Pistons?
Yeah.
Charlotte?
Yeah. I love how you have like Charlotte, like maybe? No, Charlotte has literally the least amount of talent
Brandon
in the
Miller?
league. Like, it's not even close. It's not even close. Like, oh my gosh.
Toronto, yes.
Yeah.
Brooklyn?
Yeah.
San Antonio, no way. They're not giving up I wouldn't trade Durant or Booker, both those guys for
I'm gonna just
Wemby.
veto this right now.
Yeah, that's not happening. There's no package where that works. The Blazers?
Yeah.
The Jazz?
And I think the Spurs would trade their roster for him, but anyway.
I'm telling you right now, no. Why would we do that? Why would we trade? Would you trade Durant and Booker for Wemby straight up? Why would you do that?
Oh, injuries are a thing, man. I don't know.
He hasn't gotten hurt.
Yeah, knock on wood. I don't want him to get hurt. But anyway, who else did you say?
Jazz?
Yeah, it's getting harder to say, yeah, but yeah. I think the Grizzlies are sneaky, the bad team that you might not say.
I was looking at we were going through the bad teams. I'm going to say the Grizzlies don't do that with Ja.
Yeah. A fully healthy Grizzlies, Ja, Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr.
Golden State?
I mean, they don't ever want to get rid of Curry.
They're not doing it. Atlanta?
Yeah.
Atlanta's doing it.
In a heartbeat, yeah.
Chicago?
Yeah. Chicago always overperforms. I don't get it. Like their roster is not.
Sacramento?
I think they do it, yeah.
Houston's not doing it.
You gotta remember there's Booker on this team, man. Booker, like
Houston's got a lot of guys though.
I'd still do it if I'm.
You don't want to just see?
Green had a good last month, but
you get Sengun and you get Jalen Green, Jabari Smith.
Roster.
But you also get your boy Whitmore?
Yeah, but it's Booker, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant.
I feel like The rest of the playoff teams above them, though, are obviously not doing it. But the Pelicans, like the Lakers,
Yeah.
aren't doing it.
Yeah, the Lakers aren't doing it.
The Pelicans aren't doing it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
and then
the
the
East, a couple playoff teams would, like the Pacers.
trade Halliburton.
For Booker and Kevin Durant, yeah.
Miles Turner on a mission in the playoffs, going 7-9 for 3.
Yeah, I mean, a good one would be the Heat. If you're the Heat, would you?
No, I don't. You just made the finals with this team, with when
With
Butler is
not
healthy.
really. I mean, you made the finals with Gabe Vincent.
But you made the finals with Butler and Bam.
Who's the
I think
other guy?
you're still
Yeah.
running back with that duo,
My gosh.
right?
Yeah. I guess you got to keep it around if you're the Heat. But yeah, if you're the Pacers, are the Cavs?
I feel like the Cavs wouldn't do it.
I think they would. I think they would.
The
Darius
Cavs won
Garland's
as many
good,
games,
but they're in the East.
but they're gonna get whatever they get for Mitchell. They're gonna have all the picks and players. I mean, that'll be a decent return.
So you're telling me you'd rather have Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, whatever that is, over Devin Booker and Kevin Durant? I mean, I know they just got swept, but like this is a really good Timberwolves team. I mean, this was a Timberwolves team that was #1 in the league, in the West for a long time.
No, yeah, this is going to be a great series with them and the Nuggets. It's going to be very competitive.
Like it's not, the Suns didn't get swept by the Cavs here. Like,
but you're also trading for the cap space and the bench guys and the lack of mobility and the picks, the no picks.
Booker. The thing is,
bro, I love Booker. Fixed. Booker's my guy.
All that can be fixed. I don't know. That's all temporary. I mean, Booker is something that you can't just get in the league, while picks and cap space and stuff is stuff you can eventually figure out.
But I just don't know if these other teams are like, I don't know if the Cavs are that much farther away from winning the title than Phoenix is. And now, maybe you put Booker and Durant in the East. Maybe that is like a real thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, they would go what?
At least the second best team in the East.
Are they better than the Knicks?
Yeah.
If Phoenix is in the East, are they better than the Knicks?
Yeah.
I kind of think the Knicks would beat them in a playoff series.
Wow, really?
With Brunson? I don't know.
You're so out on the Suns team. You're really out.
I'm out on teams that are checked out.
They weren't checked out. They just got straight up beat. I mean, even Anthony Edwards said Kevin Durant didn't. Like, he didn't outplay Kevin Durant. It's just their team outplayed the Suns.
The Knicks might be a 7. It might be a 6 or 7, but I think Brunson's getting that. The defense, the energy of the Villanova guys.
Nah,
I think it's close.
It's close. It's close. It's not. I don't think it's a sweep either way, but I think the Suns are still a really good team. I think they're just in the West with other really good teams. I mean, there were 6 teams with winning records in the West. Like,
DM us if you would trade Wembanyama for Booker and Durant. Because I think that's like a no-brainer.
So you can block them?
I think that's like a no-brainer. No.
Oh,
I think that's like I don't think anything is.
You gotta at least have a meeting about it.
For Wemby? There's nothing that piques your interest for Wemby. There's just absolutely nothing. He's Mahomes. He's the Mahomes of the NFL, of the NBA right now.
Maybe, but if you're trying to win now or you're winning later, I'm just saying Booker and Durant.
You don't think you can win now with Wemby?
Somewhat win now. It's gonna take time. I don't know. I really think Booker and Durant are.
If Booker and Durant want to join Wembanyama or one of them individually, I mean, sign that. Let's do that. Absolutely. But nobody's going to replace Wembanyama. It's not happening.
Yeah. We'll see. Anyway, moving on to the other superstar team that was knocked out, the Lakers, lose in 5 to the Nuggets, losing, I think, 13 out of the last 14 games against them, somewhere like that.
Pretty close.
Darvin Ham, and his whole team get fired. Um, so we'll see who the new coach is coming in. But is
Have you
this,
seen
I
the
mean,
rumors?
what,
Have you seen
Budenholzer?
Budenholzer's name's been floating out there? There's some Tyronn Lue stuff that's been floated out there as well too, but he seems like
Yeah.
he's been reaffirming his commitment to the Clippers. But have you seen the JJ Redick rumors?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. They got the podcast and all.
I mean, that's what's going to happen, right? It's going to be Redick.
I don't think so.
It's
I
going to be
don't.
Budenholzer. It's going to be Coach Bud
I think it's gonna be Bud. Yeah.
with JJ Redick as an assistant.
Yeah, it'll be like the last. They've done it before too. I think they did it with Ham too, where they had the coach, like the actual coach, or a good coach, be the main one, like Bogle or whatever, and then they have the backup behind him,
Why
who they're
would
gonna
Bud sign
replace
up for
with,
that?
because he
Because
doesn't have a job.
you think, well, he could, but he's one of the top guys. He could probably get. I don't want to say he'd have his choice of jobs, but I'm sure he could get another one. If they're like, hey,
Yeah,
we're going to sign you as the coach, but you have to take JJ Redick as an assistant, I'm like, well, I know where this is headed.
I don't know. I see Jawan Howard here on the
I saw that as well.
Phil Handy.
I think that guy's just trying to get names.
Yeah.
Phil Handy would be interesting. I don't think they would do that because I don't think he has the name power, but that might honestly be the move.
Yeah, no. Once you start saying Jawan Howard, you're just throwing stuff.
The editors told me I needed 9 guys. Make the list 7. Juwan Howard's not coaching the Lakers next year.
Yeah.
Juwan Howard won 8 games as the Michigan head coach last year.
I guess. Yeah, no. I mean, Terry Stotts, I don't think he's coming back.
So you think you think
Well,
LeBron and Redick are just that show they're going to do forever? That's their
forever,
podcast
no.
now.
I mean, I think it's their thing, yeah.
LeBron is just doing a podcast. He just has a
Yep.
show.
That's just his thing. Potted. We'll see.
There's
We'll
no
see.
big grand scheme behind it. No ulterior motives.
I don't know. He might be a coach. I mean, we've seen how it works with Steve Nash. I don't know. With superstar stuff, it's like impossible to predict.
It's gonna be Redick because I don't know why. I don't think that LeBron is going to do that show forever. I don't know if that's a hot take.
Well, no.
But I mean,
Yeah.
he's going to do it for like 4 years. Like there's going to be 900 episodes of the LeBron and JJ Redick Mind the Game podcast.
We'll see. I don't know. LeBron,
And it's fantastic. I
he's
hope
trying
there
to do
is. I
his
just
own
don't
media
see
thing.
that as the final outcome.
Yeah.
Once I saw the rumors, it made a lot more sense.
I mean, I think he's just, trying to build his credibility as a basketball guy because, people just constantly hate on him and, just showing, oh, yeah, I actually know basketball guys. But yeah, I would say.
Everybody knows LeBron has a high IQ, though.
Yeah, well, you should check social media sometime. It's not. That's not
people
what
don't
people
actually think that.
Yeah. Well, when you see it all the time from a lot of people, who knows? I don't know. I mean, Steve Nash coached in the NBA, so I wouldn't say, I don't know. I don't know with LeBron what he wants to do, but they're going to do it. They're going to do whatever he wants. And that could very well be JJ Redick. Yeah. And I think we talked a little bit about AD and how great he's been playing in this playoff. So
shout out to Allie.
Quickly over to the Pelicans. Yeah, I guess that's all they wrote. I think there's definitely one of the bigger what ifs if Zion played.
I think in that play-in game.
Yeah.
That's going to go down. Is that? Oh, I wish we would have kept track of what if moments for the season because, I mean, it's not just what do the Pelicans look like? We get Zion in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. If they win that game, now the Lakers are in the other game where they're playing for the 8th seed. So now it's like, okay, is it LA versus OKC in the first round? What does that look like? I mean, we've seen what OKC look like. So maybe that's a 6 or 7 game series from the OKC standpoint. But maybe LA has a greater chance of winning. Like we said, we see Zion in the playoffs. So, yeah, I mean, I guess if the Lakers lose to the Thunder in the first round in the alternate scenario, then it ultimately doesn't matter. But I do think, yeah, it does definitely change the course of the West playoffs.
Yeah, and it's definitely one of the biggest what ifs because especially with LeBron being able to play against OKC, it would have been. I mean, I would have loved that series. I wish we could have seen it, but
I think
alas,
that
it's not
goes
meant to
7.
be. Yeah, I think it. I think that series. I don't know, man. It might go 6 Lakers way. Who knows?
Mm.
But I, you know, it's one of those things, one of the dreams that, stays as a what if. But I think when you look at this Pelicans team, I think, this is definitely one of the teams I think makes most sense to just run it back. Don't even think about it, just run everyone back just because of the age. I do think if they couldn't trade someone, it'd probably be CJ McCollum. If they could get a solid guard for him, more of a playmaker. Hopefully
Beal?
someone he just want Beal off the Suns. Um,
I'm just thinking out
who
loud.
knows? Yeah, I mean, they have trade pieces, they have picks if they really want to make a trade. But I think as the team is constructed, they are fine. I think they're just all right. I mean, if Zion, they just need Zion to stay healthy. That's it. And it's going to be really sad if that's all that the team needed, which so far it seems like what they need to really hit that next step because it's all in health. And this team really has the depth. It has the defense. And it's really great to see the growth from this team. But they need their star.
Is Brandon Ingram on the team next year?
That was probably the only other question I'd put towards the team. I don't know. I don't know. That's yeah. I mean, it's not the first year he's been benched in big moments. Um, I think they just keep him. Unless there's a team that's willing to pay like a decent price for him, I think they're gonna keep him.
And they have the depth where they don't need him. Like you're saying, they've been
Yeah.
benching him, but I guess it would just be his own, personal. I want to
Yeah.
be the lead guy.
Yeah, we'll see. I think with him, there's so much potential there. When he's on, it's great to watch, and it's a lot of these teams. What they're doing lately is they're just keeping players. If it's someone you drafted, someone you've developed, and someone who's been in your system, then a lot of times they'll just keep them and roll the dice because the price to go out and get someone and bring them into the system and show them how to play, and maybe it doesn't even work out after all that. It takes so much than just trying to keep the player you have in the first place. So if I'm the Pelicans, I'm probably keeping him, and that's probably what they're gonna do because it's just you just run it back. See, it's got all right. Let's see here. So I think we went through all the teams. The games next series starts today. Timberwolves taking the Nuggets. We will see what happens. Oh, these next couple series are going to be really good. Thunder against Mavs, Pacers against Knicks, and then the Celtics will take the winner of Cavs Magic. So
Should we see if our friends at DRF have odds on the series?
Shout out DRF Sportsbook, only in Iowa. Also shout out BetStamp and shout out Pure Vita bracelets.
If you guys want to shop for the best odds on the playoff lines, BetStamp is definitely the place to do it. Like we said, DRF Iowa only if you guys are looking for a solid sports book. It looks like they have lines on the games themselves, but no series odds, it looks like. Let me go into the game quick and see if that's the case, because sometimes their setup is a little bit different than the others. No series odds for DRF. But again, if you guys are in Iowa and want to bet the games, that's a good place to do it. If you want to shop the lines for the games and get the best odds across all the sports books, because we know if you're a gambling degenerate, you're not just on one, you're on multiple of them. So if you want to see the best odds on your various sports books for a certain, specific bet. If you guys are looking at this, well, maybe if you're listening to this today, if you guys are looking at that game 7 game Sunday for Cavs Magic and go, what is the best odds on the money line? BetStamp would be the place to do it.
Shout out. And then, excuse me, keeping it short, due to other Frisbee stuff. But we'll quickly.
Our boy's got to try out in a little bit.
I know. We got tryouts. Also, I don't know if on the pod, quickly going over Frisbee stuff, college regionals is going on. I don't know if we shouted out iHuck. I think we gave a preview, but they.
Oh wait, you didn't make your picks for the playoffs. Make your picks for the second round, quick.
I was just gonna let them play out a little bit. I don't know.
Sam needs to.
Sam
needs to see the games before he makes his picks.
If I really had to pick, I'd say the Mavs playing. I think. I don't want to say the Timberwolves, but I really do think they could beat the Nuggets. So I could see it be an all blue Western Conference with Mavs and Timberwolves, and then on the other side, I think it's going to be Celtics are going to beat whoever comes out of Cavs Magic. Even though it'll be close, I think the Celtics will win, and I could very well see a 1-2 matchup in the Eastern Conference Finals with Celtics and Knicks.
I could see definitely a 1-2 in that, and if the Nuggets won, that would be a 1-2 in the West as well. So, like you said, the playoffs have kind of gone to chalk at this point. So I guess we got a 1-2 in both for the conference semis.
That's what you're saying.
That could be interesting, but I don't know if that's likely. So do I have to pick the Timberwolves, go with a 1-2 and a 1-3 matchup?
Maybe.
Because I think the Thunder are going to beat the Mavs.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing. You think the Thunder are going to beat the Mavs? I think the Mavs are going to beat the Thunder. So, well, we'll see. Could be a 5-3. Could be a 5-3 matchup.
I do kind of. Let me see. Timberwolves. Let me see what the odds are for Timberwolves in 7. Or do they have to do it in 6? They're not going to win a game 7 in Denver.
I don't think they're going to win game 7 in Denver. They have to do it in 6.
5-1 for them to win in 6, 8-1 for them to win in 7, 10-1 for them to win in 5. Minnesota in 5. They didn't have Karl Towns when they played him in the regular season.
Oh gosh,
I'm picking the Timberwolves, baby.
Yeah, you gotta go.
I'll go Thunders, Wolves, Knicks, Celtics.
Yeah. All right, Thunders, Wolves, Knicks, Celtics. I'm going Mavericks, Wolves, Knicks, Celtics. So we'll see. Quickly over Piercing Truth. I'm a huge Drake fan, but Kendrick has been going crazy. That beef is ongoing. What has been your favorite song so far out of all of the disses?
Out of just the diss song specifically, 7-minute drill? No. Push-ups was fun. Push-ups and Euphoria, I guess like that's on streaming too, technically, but Push-ups and Euphoria are the only two on streaming right now. Did Drake drop Family Matters on streaming? Yeah, I only saw that one on YouTube.
Yeah, I saw that on YouTube. And then there's Meet the Grams.
Meet the Grams is on YouTube. Taylor Made Freestyle is on YouTube. And then the one that Kendrick dropped earlier this week, 616 in LA, is also on YouTube as well.
So many, I can't keep up. I don't know if I've heard them all.
I think Euphoria might be the best beat.
Yeah.
Of the song.
Okay.
I might be Euphoria.
I like Euphoria the most in terms of words, but the best beat I liked was the Drake one.
Push-ups?
Push-ups.
But Euphoria's got like the little sample in the beginning and then it switches. Push-ups is definitely a fun. That would have been my second song just because it is like, I don't know if it's, it's like it's a good diss, but it's like it's a fun Drake song just in terms of the beat, like you're saying. So it does check the box as a fun listen. But I mean, Euphoria is like a Kendrick song too. So I mean, it's just those beats are in line with what they've done, obviously with their music over their careers. So I lean
Yeah.
Kendrick a little bit in that. I think in terms of lyrics, I think Meet the Grams is probably the best one. And that's the
I haven't
one you
watched
haven't
it
listened
yet.
to yet. If I'm
Yeah.
right, you said you hadn't got to that one yet.
Or not. Yeah, my favorite beat was Family Matters, not Push-Ups.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
definitely, yeah, Family Matters from Drake. But yeah, in
And
terms of an actual diss, it was Euphoria.
he definitely goes off in Family Matters. And some of the stuff at the
Yeah.
end about, how Kendrick treats his lady was definitely like, okay, we're definitely getting into the diss side of things. But
Yeah.
I kind of Meet the Grams was kind of crazy. And honestly,
Yeah.
just the fact that he had the response queued up so quickly.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
we're just kind of washed out the Drake song. I don't know if the song itself, it is probably a little bit of a better diss because the song is more of a diss throughout. Whereas in the middle of Family Matters, Drake is just kind of flexing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Kendrick ever really gets into that and Meet the Grams. He does do that on Euphoria to start, but I think because of that,
Yeah.
I think Kendrick would be in the lead at this point.
Yeah, he
that,
definitely is in the lead.
But I don't know if it's not like a Jay-Z Nas situation where I don't think anybody's dropped Ether yet or like a hit him up. No, like nobody has definitely leveled the next guy to where it's like this beef is over.
Yeah.
But Kendrick is definitely in the lead. And if we're just talking
He's
about this like
close.
If we're talking about this like a series too, I mean Kendrick has more songs out, right, as well too, because he has
he has more songs, but definitely more wins. I think Euphoria definitely turned it up a notch. And I think it's he's definitely like if it ended right now, I think sadly, I think Kendrick.
No, I agree with you. He would be winning, but I don't think he's like leveled him. Yeah. Because I do think that what Drake said on Family Matters was interesting, but again, the fact that Kendrick had just washed it away so quickly was what was effective, more so than I think what was necessarily in the diss itself, because the diss itself, Meet the Grams, is, and again, you haven't really heard it yet, but it's kind of an expanded diss on what he's been dissing him about him just not being responsible as a father.
Yeah.
So he goes more off on that. So I don't know if, and I have to go back and listen to it too. I don't know if he says anything new.
Yeah, exactly.
In Meet the Grams versus
just him re-emphasizing stuff.
Yeah, versus him just emphasizing. Whereas Drake did sort of present some new information in Family Matters, but Kendrick also did that in Euphoria, like you're saying, and because of the amount of work that those guys have done up to this point, I would put Kendrick in the lead. But I get what I'm saying is if Drake there is still room for Drake to have another response to Meet the Grams for him to put himself back in the lead. Like, I don't think that the lead is unattainable at this point in this beef.
Yeah, we'll see. I know Meet the Grams, he did mention some sex offender stuff. And
no, yeah, you're right. Okay,
yeah. There was some stuff. There was some shady stuff.
But like I'm saying,
but
Drake came back with the personal stuff where he's like, okay, I know you're saying that you're sleeping well at night, but like maybe that's not what all what it cracked up to be. He also says something about his kid. His kid might be the manager's son.
I don't know. People need to leave kids out of it, man.
Yeah,
it's like, how are you going after kids? Leave them alone. But
and to be honest, like I think this is the point in the beef now where I'm like, okay, I see why J. Cole tapped out of this thing, because originally one of the things with this beef is it's kind of taken a little bit to ramp up to this point.
Yeah.
Whereas in old school rap, be like, you just get a guy, he just drops the song. I know Jay-Z and Nas went back and forth before we got Ether, but when it was early in that rap beef, it was like, okay, J. Cole can definitely hang in this if we're just doing, this petty surface level stuff. But now that we're starting to like uncover stuff, dig up dirt, people are making calls, things are getting exposed. I don't know if J. Cole necessarily, it's like, I don't want things exposed about me. He's like, I just don't want to be doing that about these guys. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and haul around for information and try to dig up dirt and talk about your family life. So now that the beef has actually escalated to that point, I think it's like, okay, I see why J. Cole is left. But now that it's to that point, this is where it could also get dangerous for Drake, because I do think that, like I'm saying, the lead is attainable, But now that we're getting out of the surface level, I mean, this is also what Kendrick has been dissing Drake about. You don't go below the surface level. Like as a rapper, you are immature. And if the beef is going to be growing in maturity, I think, like we're saying in Family Matters, there's a good middle chunk there where it's like, okay, Drake, I'm going to need a little more substance. You're giving us stuff here at the beginning and the end, but I mean, this, the Kendrick thing is jam packed at this point. So,
Yeah, and Kendrick made it clear he hates him as a person. So,
made that very clear. Do you think we get another Drake response?
I don't know. I agree with Rick Ross. Like Drake, just leave it alone. I mean, this is a different level of hate. Like you're not just let him be. He's some things you can just leave in the ground. Like I don't think he should, but he might. He might. I mean, I definitely think he has enough info and could definitely cook up something, but I think he should live well enough alone. I mean, he's he's definitely a bigger enough artist for this to not really like be an issue for him, and just keep it pushing.
But if he had won the Pusha T beef, do you think he would need to win this beef? Like if your boy's got a losing record in rap beefs, it's not going to affect his numbers, but from a legacy,
it's definitely going to affect his pride.
Yeah, his ego, his pride. If he can't, overcome these rappers one-on-one.
We'll see. I mean, Kendrick is definitely going lower than him. He's definitely, there's definitely a level of hate in there that I don't know if Drake can really match. And that just comes through in the music. So,
and that was probably the same with Pusha T as well, too, where these guys do just have, a different level of, and the thing is, a lot of these guys started with Drake, whereas Drake is often on the defensive.
Exactly.
Because like Kendrick started this
Drake
one.
didn't have to go after him, so I don't know. If I'm Drake, just leave it be.
Kendrick started this one on the mic. I would be curious to know, in general, why Kendrick did what he did and pulled up on like that.
Yeah.
With that diss at this time, because I saw some rumors floating around about how Kendrick was supposed to be on first person shooter mode.
Wow.
So I don't know if there's something with that, but also
probably
in the Drake diss, Drake talked about, or not in the Drake diss. It just, I was also seeing other rumors where it was Drake potentially has ownership in Kendrick's music library as well. So I don't know if Kendrick has animosity for that. So I'd be curious to know why this beef has started in general, but
yeah, I don't know. People got to figure it out.
Your boy's definitely down on the rounds right now.
He is down.
Down on the scorecards. It's close,
Very much down. It's close.
It's not Leon Edwards versus Usman. He doesn't need the head kick to win. He can still take, he can still win on points. He doesn't need a knockout. He can still win on points.
Yeah. We'll see. I thought, we'll see. It's tough. It's tough. It's close. There's other piercing true stuff, but we can get to that later. Really quick, shout out Iowa, iHuck. We had a great regionals. We're able to get it down. Pretty much, they won enough games to get to. They got to the game to go to nationals. So they were like one a game away from getting to the game to get the second bid to nationals. And it was against one of the top 3 teams. It was against Wisconsin. They had some chances, but they did not make it. We were able to get revenge against the team that's knocked us out the last 2 years, the last couple of years, in Milwaukee. Get some revenge against them, but Wisconsin knocked us out, and then they went on to lose their own game in the game to go to nationals against Carleton, who surprisingly lost against Minnesota. Carleton's been the best team in the region, but they lost to Minnesota, but still made it to nationals. Also, shout out Michigan. They made it to nationals as well. They got the bid in their region. So, Magnum are back. Magnum are back. And Ultimate Frisbee Association is back. Professional Frisbee
is there a game tonight?
Men's and women's.
There's a game last week.
There's game every weekend. Yeah. There's definitely
streaming live on YouTube.
Let's see if the Alley Cats are playing.
Ooh, if Wettengale's playing, I'm locked in.
Shout out. We'll see. I
Ooh,
don't
it's
know.
the
Right now, the big
Empire versus the Hustle tonight. If you guys are listening to
yeah,
this on Saturday.
the Hustle were the last team to beat the Empire in 2021. So their 31 game
Oh,
winning streak is on the line tonight, actually at 7:30. So that's the big game on the weekend. Let me see
hey, yo,
here.
20K checking out the last week's game, the Breeze versus the Shred. People are into this.
Yeah. That's crazy. Shout out. I was watching that too last week. Yeah. Seattle barely beats the Oakland Spiders. The Seattle's gotten some new players this year, so they're pretty good. Let's see. Have the Alley Cats played yet? Where are they at?
They're
We'll
just the
see.
whole team is load managing. We're
Oh
not
yeah,
playing
they
our
haven't
regular
played
season
yet.
games.
I don't know what's going on with them. They're playing. Oh, they're playing the Mechanics, but next week. I don't know why they're starting so late.
Hmm.
Anyway, also shout out to Chelsea,
Handler.
defending London against Tottenham Hotspurs, getting the win. And yeah, they're right now. I mean, if we win out, we're like really, really close to getting some European competition. So who knows? Maybe that's what we're trying to get, top 7 in the league. I think we're 8th right now. So, but then we're like a game or two back. So we'll see. But anyway, yeah, in terms of my own stuff, coaching ended this past week. We had
Coach
we had a
Sam.
really good game, able
Coach
to,
K.
yeah, we got some of the 5th graders, the grade before our middle school. So we're really starting a pipeline, getting the kids in.
Oh,
Yeah, they're really, and the 5th graders, the next grade coming up, they're really good. They're really experienced. There's
wait,
some
so
who,
you're fifth grade or
this
fourth
is their
grade?
only sport. 5th grade so it's 6th through 8th, I want to say, is in the middle
Hmm.
school. So yeah, the 5th graders are the ones
Oh, you guys
next
are all middle school.
incoming class. Yeah, it's all middle school. So
So you guys are like the middle school IMG for Ultimate Frisbee, the middle
no,
school
no,
Monteverde.
we played the IMG version here, but no, we're not quite there. Um, I mean, it's a second year of the program, so we're definitely building towards it, though.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
It's an
We'll
expansion
see.
team. It's new. Give them a break.
Exactly. So, and then yeah, I've been having tryouts a whole bunch of weekends. So it's a couple of invites to some closed tryouts. Some decent teams. Some regional level teams, top 100 in the
I
nation.
mean, you're
So
taking off for
we'll
a
see.
tryout right after this.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Man's got a
ending so high.
tracksuit on right now.
Yeah, it's actually raining a bit right now. So, yeah, we're definitely trying out for some teams, and
It's
yeah,
a big cloud if
well,
it's
we'll
raining on
see.
Iowa and San Francisco.
Sheesh, must be a storm system or something. I don't know.